name is Caitlin Drover, and I'm an accredited exercise physiologist with iFitness Exercise Physiology on the Central Coast. Thanks for joining us through this Exercise 101 course. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through balance and coordination. So sit back and enjoy, and I trust you'll get a lot out of it. Balance. The definition of balance is a state of equilibrium or equal distribution of weight amount. So how does the body maintain balance, and what is involved? The center of gravity of an object is the point at which weight is evenly dispersed on all sides in balance. As humans, our center of gravity can change depending on our position. However, when we're standing still, our center of gravity is usually just below our belly button. Our center of gravity must be over our base of support. Simply put, when we're talking about our balance, our base of support usually refers to our feet. However, it may include other parts of the body if they are resting on other surfaces. So for example, if you're leaning over cleaning a bathtub and you put your hand on the wall to stop yourself falling forward, your arm then becomes a part of your base of support. And as our center of gravity changes, our base of support also has to change to prevent us from becoming unstable. We can divide balance into two categories: static balance, which is balance when we are still, and dynamic balance, which generally refers to when we are moving. There are many systems that work together to allow us to balance, and the first of these is the vestibular system. This is the sensory system in the middle of the ear, and it's the leading contribution to our sense of balance and spatial orientation. The vestibular system sends signals primarily to the structures that control the eye movements, and they help in maintaining our balance while we're moving. Visual system. Our eyes help us balance by sending signals to the brain about our body's position in relation to its surroundings. These are processed by our brain and compared to other information from our vestibular and our skeletal systems. Proprioception. This is the body's ability to sense its location, movements, and actions. It's the reasons we're able to move freely without consciously thinking about our environment. Examples of proprioception include being able to walk or kick a ball without actually looking at your feet. Signal efficiency. When the signals above break down, or when we're tired or inhibited by other things such as alcohol or illness, the signal efficiency can be decreased. Certain medical conditions, such as Parkinson's disease, can reduce the speed of signals traveling along the nerve, which result in reduced coordination, reaction speed, and balance. Sensation. Changes in pressure, for example in our feet, can also give our brain feedback about things like postural sway and allow it to make tiny adjustments in our weight distribution, so that we remain balanced. If this is impaired by conditions such as peripheral neuropathy, then this can negatively affect our balance also. So how do we improve on our balance and coordination? Well, exercise. The trick when trying to improve your balance is to ensure you're doing exercises that is specific to the area of balance you want to improve, and that you're actually providing enough stimulus for it to be beneficial. This can be tricky when we talk about balance training, because obviously the best balance exercise in the world is pointless if you fall over while you're doing it. So it can be a bit of an art to choose exercises that are both safe and appropriate. But luckily, that's where we're here to help. If you are trying to do a balance activity that is too easy, then all the systems and aspects which make up balance that I've mentioned above, they don't have to work any harder, and they're not going to improve your balance because they're just not being challenged. So what are some ways we can challenge our balance? Well, shoes on versus shoes off. If we take our shoes off, we allow the smaller foot muscles to be challenged, and they have to work harder to counteract our weight shifts. Eyes open versus eyes closed. By removing the visual feedback the eyes give to our body, we have to use other proprioceptive feedback discerning where our limbs and body is in space, making other aspects of our body that control our balance work harder. To further challenge your balance, you can do things like moving your head whilst you're doing an activity. For instance, try standing on one leg. If that's okay, remove that visual gaze and move your head. You'll find it's quite challenging. And changing the context around what you're doing. So for instance, if you're inside trying to stand on one leg, you might find it okay. If you play some music or try doing the alphabet backwards, our brain has to process other information, and so other aspects of our balance have to be challenged. So when we're focusing less on the task we're doing, our body has to work harder to maintain balance. Changing the surface. So if you think about doing balance exercises, you could change the surface and go soft sand rather than concrete. Or using a squishy foam pad versus doing exercises on wooden floorboards. These help to challenge all those extra balance systems that we've talked about, and it makes the body work harder to help maintain balance. So what is the benefits of balance training? Well, we can increase our mobility, increase our confidence. If you participate in sport recreationally or even competitively, increasing your static and dynamic balance, it reduces your risk of injury and can increase your performance. The main balance exercising outcome is you reduce your risk of falling. And we can increase movement patterns and body positioning, which can result in reduced joint pain and aggravation. So as I said earlier, when we're performing balance and coordination exercises, we need to make sure that we're challenging your body in a way that is safe. So for example, if you're going to perform a one-legged stand, it's really make sure we do it in an area where you can reach out, grab a handrail or a countertop for if you do lose balance. And if your balance is not that great to start with, do the exercises with someone around you just in case and for support. And remember that, as I mentioned earlier, balance is complex and has many categories and aspects to it. Our role as AEPs is to identify which aspects you're good at and which aspects you could use a little bit of improvement on. And these improvements will help your mobility, reduce your risk of detrimental outcomes such as falling or injury. I hope the information that's been provided in this video has got you thinking about where you can improve, and if you need help and advice with that, please feel free to reach out. And make sure you look out for the next video in this series. I'm Caitlin Drover, accredited exercise physiologist with iFitness. Until next time.